Hello everyone, in this video what I want to do is I want to go over your midterm exam. So let me start over here. If we're in Blackboard and we go to our class, Introduction to Philosophy, and you go to the assignments folder and you go to midterm exam, there are three components to your midterm exam. You'll see four things here. I'll explain the fourth here in a moment. The first thing that's here is the objective content. This is half of your exam grade. These are 25 multiple choice and fill in the blank questions, each worth 2 points. And they all come from the Microsoft Sways. So if you've been reading the Sways, listening to the lectures, and doing the reading, you're completely golden. But then you also have two essays as well to do. Now, these essays are a little bit different from the weekly analyses that you've done already. Here, I want you to respond to specific questions. And your response to these specific questions, you can really already do right now. The questions are here. You'll notice that fourth component down here that says midterm exam essays. I've also put this under, if you go to course info, it's also there as well. Midterm exam essays. If you're a little bit nervous about clicking on the assignments folder, they're here. And if you click on them, here are 8 questions, 8 essay questions that are for the midterm. Now, there are 8 questions here. What I want you to do from the 8 that are here is to choose 2, and you can pick any 2 that you want. If you want to do 1 and 2, that's fine. If you want to do 2 and 3, you want to do 1 and 8, whatever 2 that you see here, you're good as long as you do 2 of them. And let me explain how to do these first of all. So here are the 8 questions. The first one's on Plato's theory of forms. The second one's on what Plato is doing to combat. The third one is on Aristotle's notion of God. The fourth one is on Hellenistic philosophy. The fifth one is on how do Plato and Aristotle differ from each other. The sixth one, on the other hand, is how is Plato different from Plotinus? How is Platonism different from Neoplatonism? The seventh one is on stuff on Eastern philosophy. What's going on in Kongzi versus Mozi. And then the eighth one is asking you questions about Islamic philosophy. Now, that's an overview. You can look at the questions for yourself. They're there. These questions are due by the end of the day of the 27th of February. So what I want you to do is look at these questions, and I want you to write 2 essays, 1 for each, responding to these. Pick 2 and respond to the 2 that you choose. You can do any 2 that you want. I don't care which ones you pick. They're all there, and they're all available for you to do. And so what you can do is you can, if you want to, you can open Microsoft Word or any other any other text program, and you can put your responses to those essays. And I'm not looking for the same kind of format where you do the cover page and you put your last name and page number in the top and you have footnotes or anything like that. What I want you to do, just pick the 2 questions. No footnotes are necessary or anything like that. Just answer the questions and write them up. So if I had mine here, okay, let me not do gibberish. I'll just say the first one. Plato's theory of forms. Plato's theory of forms is, and then I would say what it is. And what I want you to do in these responses is be as robust as possible. So be as lengthy as possible. Don't overdo it. I don't think that's going to be a problem, but I don't want a bunch of pages. I think 1 page of material per essay question is enough, just single spaced. Just respond to the question, answering everything that you see in there, and it can be drawn from the sways, from the lectures, and from the written material. Save your stuff. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go save as, and I'm going to go, hey, actually, let me put it on my computer here. I'm going to say essay 1. Okay, so I've got this ready to go. And once I've answered one of the questions to my satisfaction, I'm going to go to the assignments folder, midterm exam, and I'm midterm essay 1 or 2. It doesn't matter which, as long as you do 2 of them. Essay, it's going to say, hey, this essay is due 28th at midnight. That's the start of the day. really by end of the day, the 27th, begin. And it's going to have a replication of the 8 questions there. What I want you to do is take your stuff that you've written. I'm going to copy it, paste it in this field. Okay, Plato's theory of forms is. All right, and so say what question you're doing. So what I'm going to say is, I'm going to say, question 1. Save and submit. Obviously, don't do this little bit that I've done here. Okay, and your question's in. So I want you to do 2 of those. So pick 2 of the questions, go to assignments, midterm exam. Do 1 of the questions and submit it under midterm essay 1. Do another one of the questions and submit it under midterm essay 2. Do 2 of the questions. Each one is worth 25% of your midterm exam grade. All right, so that's a quarter each for both. So do one of them, do another one of them, and you can do that as early as you want. The questions are already available. I want you to respond to them, obviously, by the 27th. And the 2 questions together are half of your midterm exam grade. What's the other half? The other half is this component right here, the midterm exam objective content. So I'm going to click on that. And there are 25 multiple choice fill in the blank questions here, each worth 2 points. So it's the other 50% of the exam grade. And once you click begin, you have 60 minutes to do the 25 questions. Everything in here comes from the Microsoft Sways. Now, if you've read the Sways, if you've listened to the lectures, and you've done the reading, like I said, you're going to be completely golden. Now, even though you have 60 minutes to do it, once you start, so once you hit this begin button here, you've got 60 minutes. You can have the Sways open while you're doing it. That's completely fine. So if you go to, if I'm opening another tab here and I go to assignments and I go to Sways and I go to, say, pre-Socratic philosophy, and I have the pre-Socratic philosophy sway open while I'm doing this stuff, that's perfectly fine. So once you click begin, what's going to happen on the exam? So like right here, I'm previewing this for you right now. Question number 1 that I have here: philosophy comes from 2 Greek words, one of which is philia, which means what? You've got an opportunity to write that in here. Okay, so what is it? What does philia mean? So put that in there. Okay, and pretty much the structure of the exam will go through the structure of what we've done this semester so far. So there's 25 questions, multiple choice, fill in the blank. I'll be reviewing the questions. So there's some that like here, this first one. What does philia mean? I'll be looking at that myself rather than it be something that Blackboard does for me. So you'll do that. That's due by the 27th. Like I said, once you start that, it will be 60 minutes once you begin. But while you're going through this, you can use the Sways to go, hey, it says this here. What does that mean? And you can go over here and take a look at the Sways as you're going through it. That's perfectly fine, perfectly legitimate to do. So you can do, there's those 3 parts, the 1 essay, another essay, and the objective components. You can really do it in any order that you want, and you can take as much time on the 3 that you want, except everything has to be in by the end of the day of the 27th of February, and this objective component, once you start it, has to be done in 60 minutes. So if you have any further questions, please get me at burrist@atc.edu. I look forward to going through these exams. I really like the first batch of weekly analyses, and I look forward to going through this. Okay? Have a good day, everybody. Bye-bye.